When kids are going through crisis, they will respond to it in different ways. A lot of it has to do with what support system they have, their personalities. If they're more relaxed, more resilient, they might get through it a little bit easier. It depends a lot on who is involved, how their caretakers are taking it, how the people around them are handling it, how long the crisis is happening, how intense it's been. So each child is very individual in how they deal with a crisis situation. The very young ones will maybe show their reactions in how they're playing. Their playing might be more aggressive, they might be having tantrums more. They sometimes will go backward in their behaviors. So let's say a young one is potty trained, suddenly they might be having accidents again, or just a lot of acting out behaviors that they hadn't been doing before. School-age children, it might look more like difficulty concentrating, again, some behavior differences, changes in appetite, nightmares, just differences in behavior, sometimes isolating, having a lot of questions about things that they wouldn't normally have questioned before. Teenagers, this can come across as more antisocial behaviors, maybe more high-risk behaviors, more use of drugs, alcohol, isolating again, hanging out with a different group of friends. A lot of it comes through with behaviors that the adults can see. If they're seeing the kids acting differently than they had before, that might be a cue of them not necessarily responding to a crisis in a great way, a little bit maladaptive. In that situation, it's okay to just ask them directly how they're doing with the situation. Do something that's non-threatening, go out for ice cream, go do an activity that your child enjoys, and then just casually bring up, hey, I've noticed that such and such is happening lately, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on with you? And sometimes they might be resistant at first, and it's okay to just let it go at first, kind of, keep on going with the activity. Kids usually will start talking eventually, if they're in a non-threatening situation. It can be, hey, I heard some other kids talking about this, have you heard anything about that, and what do you think? And asking for their opinion. And sometimes if you go for an opinion, they will have one and they will be willing to share it in that way. And then it leads into more conversation of, how are you doing with that? Have you seen any teachers at school being strained with this? Have you seen any of the tension? And they will usually be able to give you more information at that point. It's really important to let them talk first, because if they feel shut down, then they'll close it back in. And so I hear a lot of people say, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, use them in proportion. And so it's really important to let them get that out first, and then use it as a discussion, rather than just, okay, I'm not going to say anything at this point. It's okay to say, this is kind of how I'm seeing it. What do you think about that? Or, what are some other opinions about it that you've heard? And use it more as a discussion rather than an opinion situation. And the kids, a lot of times, when they feel like their opinion is valued and being heard, they're okay with hearing it from the other angle too, rather than having it be a sort of debate, or where it can escalate into very much a parent-kid role. If they feel like they've got some sort of a say in what's going on, they tend to do a little bit better with that. That gives them a sense of control too. In a situation that can feel really out of control, whatever the crisis is, they automatically have that reality set that the world can be a dangerous place and that dangerous things can happen. And so they need to feel like you are their safe person and that they can express those things with you. Even if you disagree on what it looks like, again, every individual experiences it in a different way, and so their perception might be different.